IVM.
Oh my god.
Someone's happy today.
I'm the opposite.
Are you floaty though? Like,
Am I floaty? What's floaty?
just like, going with the flow and like not sad, but
I'll
like,
tell you what, today I almost had a panic attack
Okay.
again, and I have an SOS pill for panic attacks, and when I take those, I tend to get very, I wouldn't say spaced out or zoned out, but I tend to feel very inert.
Oh.
So it's like, I know right now I'm in a room with headphones on, sitting opposite you with lovely Madhuri and Deep. But I'm just like, there's a serious lag in what I'm perceiving and how I'm getting it.
Farhad.
Hey. On that note, hi, welcome to GAYBCD. I'm Farhad.
And I'm Sunetro.
I was going to say I'm Farhad and I'm running on a 0.9 second lag right
So
now.
we know the best thing and the worst thing that's happened to you this week then.
Wait, I'm processing the question. What's the best thing that happened to me this week? Nothing. There are weeks where nothing good happened.
Yeah.
Not that anything
Nothing
bad
bad either, yeah.
happened, but this is one of those weeks. Nothing amazing. Nothing fuck all. My cat took a shit outside his litter for the first time in my 4 years that I know him. So that was probably a literally shitty thing to happen. I freaked out. I thought, do I have to take him to the vet? Did he forget what his commode is? But that's about it. That's how much my life got affected this week. Yeah.
Interesting.
You look like you're very happy.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't have any bad things at all. Touch wood. I mean, also, my birthday week's coming up, so yay! But so the best thing that happened was I randomly one of these days I just knowing Bombay, travel takes a long time nowadays.
Yeah.
So I just randomly one day I was coming back from work. And I just randomly picked up the phone on my ex, who's a woman.
Okay.
And we're like soulmates. We're we're really close to each other. And we hadn't spoken for...
Where's she now? Like,
So she's raised in Bombay.
Okay.
So it's not like we lost touch. It's just that, life happens. So I just randomly picked up the phone on her and we ended up chatting for 2 hours.
Okay.
And then we discussed everything under the sun, like from Kolkata Thela Chinese chili chicken recipes to like my obsession with Japanese cuisine suddenly, everything under the sun. And it was great to reconnect. And it was just like...
So y'all have basically not been in touch, or like...
No, it's not like we've not been in touch. We've not... had this because
Bearing.
of how, just bare your soul sort of conversations in a bit. So it was nice to get back to doing that because every time we meet each other, it's like we go on a roller coaster, so much. And the great thing is that there are these cues, the body cues and body language cues, which I get and which she gets. And now it's come to a point where we're on the phone and slight ticks of words,
You get it.
we
You
get each other.
Yeah.
That, are you in this mood? Are you feeling so and so? So yeah, that was great. I mean, reconnecting.
Honestly, I'm glad you say that because in some way I feel like that's one thing we both share, even though we are out and proud. And I still identify as bisexual, even though I've only been with men for the past...
I just call myself queer to save myself the trouble.
But if I had to put a tag or a label, I still find it very weird because I joke off. I don't want to base this solely on what I joke off to. But no, there are times where I crave the touch of the scent of a woman.
And I always, we've had this conversation. I'm not like a penis guy. I've said this so many times.
You're not a penis guy and you're not a people's person.
Oh, yes.
You hate, you've not said it.
I hate people and I hate penis.
Yeah, okay.
I don't hate penis, but like I'm not about the penis.
No episode is complete without you
these
saying
two.
how much you hate people, Sunetro. And you have such a sunny disposition
about it.
Yeah, I usually say like, oh, I just can't stand people, planet, whatever. But you always have this, I hate people.
So it's like, so this friend of mine was telling me, would you stay on Mars if you had to? And I was like, oh my God, yes. Like,
Yeah.
and he asked me, what about people? I was like, no people.
So the other day, I'm a big, first of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm a big Boss fan. Okay, don't judge me.
I'm not judging you.
No. I'm
Darling,
saying don't judge me. To
it's a rabbit
listening.
hole that I've been through. Not Big Boss, but hello, I have been.
Sure.
I like, what's her name?
Pooja Mishra.
No, the other one. The Koot ke rakh dungi.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
that's
man.
every woman on Big Boss at some point.
Oh my God, it's a rabbit hole I entered and I could not leave.
Okay.
Dolly Bindra, yes.
Dolly Bindra.
Oh my God,
she was fantastic.
She's like a gay icon, you know.
No, I hope she's not.
I mean, she's not a gay icon,
she's
but
a
like
terrible human being.
Yeah, I get that. But like she is.
You've not been down a real rabbit hole until you look up Dolly Bindra fight videos on YouTube. Have you seen this?
Oh, no,
and I'm not talking about fights from Big Boss.
No, like in an apartment, right?
Yeah,
yes,
I did. Where she hits her neighbors. And she's a wild woman. I once was at a KFC. And I relate. Dolly Bindra happened to be at KFC.
Oh shit!
And I related to her on a spiritual level. I'll tell you why. She was alone on the third floor of Linking Road KFC. So it's 3 floors of KFC, and she was sitting in the far distance alone with a bucket of chicken. And I was on the other end alone with a bucket of chicken, and I felt like, oh my God, this is a mirror. I am mirroring Dolly Bindra right now. What I was trying to get at was. I watch amazing stuff. I love pop culture, everything. Yes. So I was watching Big Boss, and recently a friend of mine asked me, there's no way although every person in my life has told me that I am the ideal Big Boss contestant. And I totally get it why they say it. I feel like I'd be fantastic. But recently for the first time, a person told me, you wouldn't be able to survive in Big Boss. And I was like, why the fuck would you say that? He's like, hurry, 3 months you can't get out. And I'm like you said, Mars. I said, I am very fine with not leaving my house for 3 months. As long as someone gets me groceries delivered to my door, I am perfectly self-sufficient, not stepping out, not interacting with,
I couldn't do that.
Or interacting with at least a limited set of people. I can totally do that. I wouldn't even in Big Boss, there are these moments where the mother comes and they call their family. I wouldn't even cry. I know it.
No, my biggest problem, I have no issues being in Big Boss. I just don't like if I were the only person, that would be great. Like imagine put Sunetro in on an empty island and just be a Truman Show sort of a thing. Oof. That's like jackpot, jackpot for me.
Yeah. But getting back to what this started with was, I love that we both share that we both have been on both sides of the fence. Not only like in terms of sexuality, but in terms of relationships. Because even I know all my friends have had gay friends, have had girlfriends at some point, and it was more of an arrangement of convenience or hiding. But I've been in long
actually my most significant relationship, like longest relationship, has been with a woman.
You said 7 years.
Yeah, 7
right?
years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've been it's real.
Combined, I think I've almost 5 to 6 years I've dated girls.
Yeah.
And I just want to pick your brain about this. Like, now that we've dated men, and we've dated women, what's
different?
Yeah, like Channi se if you remember kya nikla.
Okay. I'll tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's because of my equation with her, because we go far beyond any of my, like the closeness between us was far more than
what you've shared
with any man.
Okay.
So I just have felt that the intimacy has been intimacy, not just in terms of physical intimacy and sex, the intimacy and the sheer understanding of us as people and us as our sync, in terms of our likes, dislikes, understanding of all of those things was far more than I've had with any man.
Yeah.
Any man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that I feel is different. The second thing is I've felt with men things have been far less intense and
complicated.
Less
complicated is the wrong word.
Complex. I think complicated is it has a negative tonality to it.
Sure.
But like it's far less complex. It's like dating. It's far too simplistic to say it's like dating a twin. But
I was gonna say a dude.
Yeah, but
you just have another dude in the house.
But like it's I understand the chemistry, I understand the biology, I understand the cerebral chemistry and makeup of the person of this species, so to say, far better. So there is far more calm. There's a disposition of just gentle calm than what
I know what you're talking about, because in all my relationships with girls, I always felt like I had to be on my feet in terms of like whether it's like,
and that's not necessarily a negative.
It's a great thing sometimes if you have a person in your life who constantly keeps it. But I just felt in me, again, also these relationships were around a time when I was relatively younger. So I felt like back then even the girls were sort of in that same age bracket. So I just felt like being on my feet meant like, oh my God, it's Valentine's Day, what to do? Oh my God, it's her birthday, what should I get her? Not just that, but also like just finding different ways to like convey that I have feelings for that person. Whereas with boys, I've always felt like it was more understood. It was understood what... Like one of my most important and longest and relationships with a boy, like none of this sort of shit was like, oh, you not get me a present and all. He totally knew that how I feel about birthdays, how I feel about other people's birthdays, things like that. It was much easier for me in that sense when I was with a boy. I just felt with girls it was more, I felt like more was demanded of me. And another thing I felt, which obviously I don't think... First of all, I want to put a disclaimer that none of this is a generalization conversation. I don't want to say this is how it is to date a girl. This is how it obviously depends on person
like I
to
said,
person.
I mean, it's because of this. It's this person that I'm talking about. That's it.
Exactly. But I remember, like, I just felt like the first time I dated a boy, there was just this immense sort of relief and an immediate confirmation that this is it. I don't think I'm going to go back to girls relationship-wise. Sexually, maybe for the rest of my life. But although things have changed, I have to say that too. Like right now, if I had to date, I would be very open to also dating a girl. But I just know how little I felt like every girl I was with, and that's quite a lot. I don't want to sound cocky, but I've dated quite a lot of girls. I just felt the first thing was for them to change me in some way. I always felt that, don't do this. You need to do this more. You need to say more. You need to, I don't like that. And that's something I've not felt in my boy relationships. So as in at first glance, these are the obvious, like, what about you? Like, have there been like some apparent kind of, oh, this is what was different in that?
So here's the thing. One glaring difference that comes to my mind now is that between my relationship with a woman, between us, it was a relationship of equals.
Okay.
And no relationship of mine with respect to men has been a relationship of
there's
equals.
Always an upper hand.
And there's always a very subliminal, subconscious tug of war.
Got it.
And that's something that's very, very, like, it stands out like very clearly today to me. Because like I've been in a relation, how many men have I dated? 1, 2, I think around, like, dated in the sense like relationship, I think 6 or 7. And all of them, I think 90% of them, I wanted to take charge. I wanted to be the leading man. And the 10% was where I was happy being the mentee, not the mentor, almost,
Okay,
you know.
okay,
So I wanted to give in. I
yeah.
wanted to be subservient and you know, the subordinate.
Yeah.
And again, big disclaimer: this is not
generalizing.
this is not generalizing. This is not a who's the man and a woman in a gay relationship conversation at all.
There is some sort of a power.
It is about power.
Balance. Like
honestly.
that always. I felt it too.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with tops and bottoms. Like,
yeah.
Let's just.
And can I tell you something? What irritates me, and this is sort of a confession, but without wanting to be the upper hand, somehow in all my relationships, I've had the upper hand. And it's not, I've always felt like, why the fuck is this person telling me that I have the upper hand when I'm just, I want to be in a relationship of equals. You know what I mean? But I repeatedly remember it's been all your relationships, boys, girls, whatever, there are things you learn about yourself. And this is one thing, it's hard for me to accept, but I've come to terms with the fact that there is a certain level of it has to be my way.
Oh my God.
And like, I hate myself for that. Whether it's like what's for dinner tonight, or like which movie, there has to be some sort of a, I don't value what you want to watch fucking
my word
fashion.
Is the last word.
Yeah, you want to watch fashion, but I want to watch this fucking
but
Bulgarian
I will do,
indie.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. I mean, I'm very similar that way as a person. And
we'd probably stab each other to death if we dated.
Totally. In a week.
Yes. 2 gay men found stabbing each other to death.
Yeah, because same with me. More often than not, I always end up, actually, at the back of my head, I always want my way. And like, because in my head, I always think, my movie choices are better. My food choices are better.
I find
like,
doesn't it?
Just,
but today, if I wish all of them were in one room, all the people I've dated, and they were listening to this, I wish I could tell them that, hey, I fucking find that very irritating about myself too. I fucking hate that about myself. And sometimes, while I'm doing it, I'm doing that.
I'm just such a monster.
It's like giving into anger. I don't have anger issues at all, but sometimes I see it. Like when you're angry, your brain's telling you, hey, don't be angry. There's no point. But while you're saying that, you're constantly being angry.
Out of body, you see yourself making that same mistake again.
I feel that every time I jack off more than 3 times a day. There are some days, especially, I don't know what's happened this last month. I've not been actively trying to get laid at all. But, so, I don't know if it's the monsoons, but my testosterone levels are like off the charts. I don't know. There are days where I'm like rudally barren, and then there are days where I want to fucking jerk off like 10 times, And, after 2 times, 3 times, I sort of have this out of body. Like, look at you fat motherfucker. Just sitting. You just ate a bucket of fried chicken and now you're jerking off oil. I really find myself doing that a lot. This whole third person myself thing.
Like, I remember there was one relation, like quasi relationship.
Samajh gaya.
Which it was one of my first attempts at opening up to dating younger people. Didn't work. Like, it was nice in the beginning, but then it didn't work. And didn't work because I got a little fed up by the end of this whole...
I'm an open, transparent person.
No, I'm open. I'm open. But then there were so many things that were demanded, but this has to happen. Let's do this also. Let's do this that way. Let's do this way. And in the end, I was like, listen, there are some things I know better. Like, you're also like,
See, but that's the thing. Couples who made it work, at least the couples I know who made it work, I don't see any power play. Or at least there's a basic fundamental understanding that sometimes that person has the upper hand. Next week, I'll have the upper hand. Like, so, that sort of...
I mean, okay, so
fluidity.
This person, okay, I'll tell you, and this may sound so petty. This person was a vegetarian, and they had the gall. No, that's not the problem. They had the gall to have an opinion about which biryani is best. I mean, I was like,
was he he? Was he a convert vegetarian?
No. No, vegetarian from
Yeah, no,
childhood.
please do
So
not.
I was like, I
Yeah.
think where it's like
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
talking about Europe because
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've never
yeah,
been to Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not going to say which
Yeah.
country is
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
European country is the most like the prettiest.
Yeah.
So I was like, no,
Yeah.
your opinion
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
justifiably
Yeah.
doesn't matter
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But like that,
Don't give
Yeah.
your 2 rupees here.
Yeah.
Don't point at my mutton.
Exactly.
Mutton, what's the best biryani, Sunetro?
Okay. So I am from Calcutta.
Okay.
But I don't think Calcutta biryani is the best. I actually love Hyderabadi biryani because I love spice. I love that
I love
masala.
Calcutta biryani.
Yeah,
but
you
that's
like
also because I had a whole Arsalan phase.
Yes,
and
yeah.
For
but
me,
can you have it just by itself?
I can, because for
That's
me,
that's the
the
problem
older
with
I
me.
get, the more simpler a dish.
Haan.
I love that about Calcutta. There's not like
it is simple.
bhar ke like pepper, ye wo. There's no masala, nothing. It's just a plain.
It's fragrant.
Yeah, which is why actually. Wow, we are suddenly discussing biryani. But my favorite is, have you ever had yakni pulao?
Oh, yeah, I like
It's
I
my
like
favorite thing, just because it's so simple. It's just rice cooked
but I
in
need
stock.
stuff with it. That's my thing. I'm a maximalist.
What would
I'm
you
not
eat
a
with a
minimalist.
Kolkata biryani?
Oh, chicken chop,
Ooh,
bro.
girl.
Please, girl.
Okay,
Like, actually, not
midway,
even
we've never
chicken
changed
chop.
topics.
Yes.
Midway, but I guess this might be the first
First time,
episode where we do
getting
that.
back to dating.
Back. Yeah. But you said something just a few minutes ago, and it made me realize that a big difference between my relationship with girls and a big difference between and another thing with boys was that honesty was well received with boys. I could be my honest self, but with girls it's like walking on eggshells.
Oh my god,
like
it was
sometimes
the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know whether it was a girl thing or it was the person
it's
thing.
not. Obviously it's not. But I'm saying, taking a collective stock of the number of boys I've dated and the number of girls I've dated, I just felt like, honestly, it's been a problem. I'm someone who's so honest, and I don't mean to, my mom had this habit all her life. She was like, I'm very honest, I'm very frank, but that was her excuse to be mean. I'm not one of those people. I'm just honest in terms of how I'm feeling. And a lot of times, if I say something like, I know it's never a right thing to tell you, and I've never done this, but this is the only example that comes to mind is, let's say there are days where if you've dated someone for a long period of time, you are not attracted to them for a small distance.
Yeah.
And I've never actually said it, but I'm saying I would be someone who'd say that. Just in the effort that this person understands me as the entire person that I am. Listen, I'm not saying I'm looking at you, look at me right now. And I'm not saying I go like, hey, you're so ugly right now, I don't want to fuck you for the next few days. No, I'm not that. I'm just saying I'm feeling sexless right
I would
now.
say that, I'm feeling sexless.
So I feel like if I said that to a guy, it would be because I'm assuming he goes through the same. But sometimes with a girl, it would become a, what's wrong with me? Is it because...
Oh, I think we went... I don't know if we were a boy and a girl in a relationship. I think we were just two people in a relationship. We started talking about... I remember we started talking about Arjun Rampal because both of us had the hots for it, for him. And it was like a thing for us. So we were like, our fantasy threesome would be with Arjun Rampal and Eva Green.
Yeah,
I would... God.
And that's the funny thing, which is something I meant to ask you. Did you... this person you dated, this girl, did you tell her before you started dating her that you were also into men?
No. So it
happened while you were dating.
She revealed that she's into women too. And it was a very arbit conversation one day, and we were in a long distance relationship. And she said, this is like, I think I am bisexual.
ACDC.
And I said, I will tell you something today. And she knew of, this guy from school who was apparently very close to me.
Okay.
And she knew of him because we studied in neighboring schools and stuff. And then I said, that guy, I was in a relationship with that guy. Okay. And she said, why did you not tell me? Sure. I was like, because, because I didn't know whether you would be okay with it. And so we ever since that happened, we really opened up, and we were. That was like, I think, the best
Floodgates are
phase.
open.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was the best phase. I think
Because
the
it's
next
like coming
1
out
month.
to the person you love. You think
yeah.
you only have to come out to your family, but
Oh, no,
sometimes
no.
because for me, I don't ever remember getting into a relationship with a girl and not telling her beforehand. I've always been
So
very early on.
how was it received?
That's the funny thing. It was a very, it's fine. All the girls that I told them beforehand, and funny, again, none of this, when I'm about to say it, I feel like this might be a cocky thing to say, Farhad. But I dated 5 girls in my life, and out of them, 3 asked me out. They were the ones who asked me out. And I would be like, hey, sure, but, okay, I'm also into guys. And that doesn't mean that I will ever cheat on you or I will fuck around or something, but I need you to know that.
Yeah.
You know, just so that I'm not living in some fucking shroud of secrecy or anything like that. And they were all okay. But I'll give you an example. We had once my brother, his girlfriend, a few of my friends and my girlfriend decided to go to Panchgani. I had a PSP back then. Straight boy. I was a straight boy. And I had a PSP, and my PSP had a lot of porn on it. Mixed porn, gay and straight. And I remember while I was outside chilling, my girlfriend was just done with a shower, and suddenly she comes out and she has this expression, and I immediately know something's up. So I go ask her, and she's like, Farhad, why do you have that kind of porn on your this? And suddenly I'm like, wait, why are you asking me that? We've already had this discussion. And one of the reasons I always used to actually come out earlier, because I used to watch gay porn. And who's going to like fucking delete browser history?
God, seriously.
Every time. So I felt like no matter how much I was honest, it didn't matter in the end. At least in retrospect, I feel that, you know, I'm not expecting her to be more welcoming or understanding or fathoming what I am going through.
But that's the most you can do, right? Like, be honest.
Yeah,
that's it.
I did. So which is why none of them were regrets. None of my old relationships have been regrets, because I've always played it in a way where I felt like I have nothing to hide.
Exactly.
I am exactly what you see is what you get, is basically. But that's one thing I remember, like, honesty sometimes I felt did not work. Even, I have to say, even in my boy relationship, sometimes it's just backfired. So much so that I remember once my shrink told me that you can be honest, but you can't be very honest. And I know he didn't mean like cheat and don't tell your lover or something. But how much do you think the other person needs to know what you're thinking?
Everyone
you need to have some sort of a filter.
Yeah, everyone has different.
It's something I had to learn. Yeah, I had to learn that. I had to unlearn and learn it. Yeah,
I've learned that over the course of my relationship. In fact, where I differ is I've actually struggled with being honest about having a history with a woman, but like I'm saying on the other side, with people, because either of two things have happened. On one hand, either it's been a matter of panic that oh my God, so does that mean that you will stray? And I'm just like, bro,
that's usual biphobia.
That's one
textbook biphobia.
And the other is again biphobia about, so you're just like, it was now to your gain. Matlab that was anyway a stopover on this stop. And those things really really piss me off.
They can pinch.
Oh God, So like, and I never faced that with this person. I actually haven't faced that with every single boy I've dated. Just a couple of them. So, but there is a fundamental difference between, and I think I've always gotten along far better with men who've seen the world a little, like in terms of, even if they've, not, had sex with women, but at least they've been out there, dated a couple of women, and then figured that this doesn't work. Dunya dekha hai thoda. So then, then we both come from a place of similarities. We are in the same place.
You just view the other person as a human being.
As
it's
a
not
human
like my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Yeah. I say another thing while I'm listening to you talk is I specifically remember, and that's the thing. I feel like I'm a very real person. I don't get excited
Complete
about
the sentence. Yes.
I don't get easily. I'm not very easily excitable. I don't get pissed off. I don't get possessive. And what used to happen, and this I'm applying to both the boys and the girls, at least in my life, was that that was always also an issue. That
Why?
I'll give you an example. A lot of times I felt like, especially in terms of possessiveness, it was like look, I have this basic belief that if another person is going to fuck around, they're going to fuck around. If another person is going to cheat on me, if another person is going to leave me, none of this I can stop. So it's not something I get scared of. This is like people who are not afraid of dying, so they live very chill lives. You know, in terms of excitedness. Oh my God, it's our anniversary. And you know, when you're a fucking teenager, there's 3 months now and 6 months now.
I'll just stop you. I remember there's this friend of mine, like one of my closest friends. She has I wouldn't say friend because she wouldn't have made a joke about them if they were friends, but acquaintance couple who celebrate until date. They celebrate every month as an anniversary, and they celebrate it as a different color, and they have Facebook albums. So like blueversary, greenversary, yellowversary. So
how long
just
have they been
shout out
together?
So the last time I had this conversation, they were 2 years into the marriage, and now it's been around 6 years.
What are they going to do after 15
I have no
years?
idea.
Vermilion.
One of them needs to know what cerulean is, so that
they'll run out eventually of the basic colors.
Exactly. So shout out to Ansh because she told me the story, and I was just like, oh my God, that's horrifying. Why would someone do that? Now, I was never like that.
Yeah, but
the little gestures mattered to me. For example,
so that's the thing. I feel like I do tons of little gestures every day. You know,
like till date, we've not dated each other for what, 20, like we broke up when I was 24. Yeah, so it's like been 6 years since 23 6-7 years till date. Our anniversary, the day we started dating, we still wish each other because it's memories. It's just that.
I have the weirdest one. I knocked up my girlfriend once accidentally.
We do not condone that.
I knocked her up and she missed her period and we started freaking out. She took an eye pill, basically. And one day after a year, she tells me she's suddenly very pissed with me. And I'm like, what's happening? And there's like bitchy pissed. And then she's like, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck have I done? So I'm like, what's happening? She's like, today's would have been.
Oh my God, are you serious? Oh my God.
And, okay, so she told me, she let it out. I guess it was something that mattered to her. But for the rest of the day, she expected me to be sad. Like we are in a wake. And I was just like, I would have dealt with a forgot birthday kind of pissed off, but dealing with a possible child that could have been death anniversary, I'm like, you're expecting too much of me.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something else? She was a very toxic person. I broke up with her on 31st December at 12 a.m. And she had no idea. My God. She had no idea. I remember the movie 500 Days of Summer had just come out. And she was so toxic, I was kind of scared of her to tell her that, hey, I want to end this. So I thought she'll understand if I just show her 500 Days of Summer. So I timed it. I was living with a couple of friends. I sent them all out. And naturally it was 31st, so they were out of the house anyways. And I told her, hey, you gotta come over. I've got a plan. I knew a lot of her favorite dishes. I made every dish from scratch. Okay. I did the whole spiel. I put a table in the center of the room. What are they called? Stream lights. String lights. Everything. And I fed her. She's like very happy. And then I was like, 9, we're going to watch a movie. And at 9, I put the movie. And the movie ends. And I'm just knocking at the TV after that, like, you get this. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't think we should see each other anymore. I thought that was a very asshole thing to do.
Yes.
But we are also talking about a person who came at me with a knife once.
Oh, geez.
So I think she kind of deserved it. And can I tell you something? I know she's never going to listen to this, so I'm just going to say it. She was my cousin. I dated for my second cousin. I dated her for over 2 years. And there isn't now. I went to her wedding, everything. I'm totally fine with her because, I got out. I dodged a bullet there. But there isn't a month that goes by where she does not message me to tell me how much she fucked up and how much she misses me. And I'm like, bitch, I told you I'm a great fucking person. You don't know what you got fucking missed out on.
Yeah.
But this became about me suddenly. But on that note, shall we take a break?
Yes,
since
please.
We are talking about breakups.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Right back.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also like to thank Intel and Storytel for supporting us this month. Want to welcome a brand new show onto the network. It's called Peak Planet. It's hosted by research fellow and engineer Karthik Ganeshan. In every episode, Karthik discusses sustainability issues that affect Indians through evidence-backed information. In the first season, he dives deep into air pollution and the discourse around it. I think this is especially important given the situation across the country these days. On The Seen and the Unseen, Amit is joined by author and advocate Chitranshul Sinha. They talk about the historical background of the sedition law and discuss Chitranshul's book, The Great Depression. On The Origin of Things, Chuck narrates a story about a man who revolutionized the concept of fuel in Brazil through the Great Depression and World War II. On Edges and Sledges, the guys talk about the T20 match between India and Bangladesh. On Geek Fruit, Tejas and Dinkar are joined by the IVM producer Abbas. They talk about the new Terminator film Dark Fate and the past and future of the franchise. On Football Shitball, we have an exciting episode as our hosts discuss the aftermath of the biggest game this season, Liverpool versus Manchester City. It's a Children's Day special on IVM Lives as Madhuri, Alika, Rutika and Abbas talk about pop culture they consumed as children and reflect on how they perceive it now. On GAYBCD, Sunetro and Farhad share the list of their first, from their first kiss to their first queer experience to the first time queer representation in art moved them. It's a list you definitely don't want to miss. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks about measuring and visualizing the progress of our habits with the help of paper clips. On the season finale of Keeping It Queer, Naveen and Farhad discuss their understanding of a breakup and how to get over them with maturity. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
Oh, ho.
Welcome back
To GAYBCD.
And you were saying you're blah.
Yeah, oh my God. It's coming out of a place that is very blah.
All right, then. Works for me then. Okay, so we were talking about our relationships with women. I want to ask you, have you ever, and obviously this is not for you to judge, but like, have your partners ever faced any kind of censure socially for having dated you?
Yeah, one specific, I remember one girlfriend of mine, I used to date a boy. And
you did? I didn't know you were gay.
And it was very common knowledge in college, at least, that, oh, Farhad loves dick. So I kind of dated. Back then, what was dating? You know what I mean? Like, we sort of made out, we maybe sucked each other off. That's about it, you know? So that had happened, and we were very visibly, sometimes we'd hold hands, boys, and like, he was pretty out there. And then he moved away, and as in out of my life, not out of the city. And I started falling for this girl, and she was sort of reciprocating, and we kind of were like in this very about to get into a relationship phase when one day a very popular bar owner from Pune, you know who I'm talking about?
I'm really bad with people. Like if you tell Tertulia?
Should I say? No, not Tertulia. High Spirits.
Oh!
Yeah. The girl I was getting kind of cozy with, her cousin brother was the owner of a very popular bar, even though I've already said the name, in Pune. He and his friends once ganged up on me in the college parking lot, and they were like, hey, you know what? We know what you and this girl are up to. You need to back off. And I said, why? And they said, don't think we don't know about you, you faggot. And I was like, how does that stop me? Like, why would I this? Like, tell your sister to stop wanting to date me. I'm just with someone I like. But if she has reservations, you need to bring this up with her. It got to a point where they were inching up on me, and I was like, listen, you are like fucking 8 Irani Parsi boys. There's no doubt you all will beat the shit out of me. So you will win this. But I'm not going to stop dating her just because you think you don't know what my this is. So I felt that was something I felt, but I also felt like then we did date, me and this girl, for a while. We kept trying to make it work. And not that any of this shit was the cause for our breakup. We broke up for other reasons, but I know that she got a lot of shit back then. Like, don't you know he's fucking gay? How can you date this guy? That happened a lot to her, at least. As for the other ones, they knew. They always knew. They knew what they were getting into. So they also kind of knew how to tackle it. I know they themselves might have had questions that if this got to a point where I have to meet parents and stuff, how would she explain? Or is it something she needs to tell her parents and all? But again, I always felt that's your headache. If you love me, that's something it's your cross to bear. It's not mine. I'll help in whatever way I can. But it's something because those are litmus tests for me. Small psychological tests to know how badly this person wants to be with me. So,
I mean, for me, there are two aspects. One is the friends aspect. The other is the dating aspect. So, you know, the girlfriend's friends and then the buzz around who you're dating. So when it came to the friends, oh my God, like her friends are just the best people. Like I am so in love with all of them even today. And the fact that both of us are very, very open about very like our authentic selves. We were always very, you know,
out there.
Not, I wouldn't say out there, not like shoving our sexuality in their faces, but we were honest about who we are. So even after we broke up, it was conversations about who I'm dating were very commonplace. Like, you know, it wasn't oh my God, like, oh, now you're dating men. Like, you know, it wasn't that at all. So it was a very easy setup there. However, when it came to, so this was something, I'd actually gotten very, I wouldn't say depressed, but it really, really bothered me because a school senior of mine used to study in the same college that she used to study in. And he was a senior of hers. And we are both like, you know, same age and all of that. I remember him going to her and saying, hey, in school, I remember he possibly had a scene with like, you know, this guy. So what are you doing dating this guy? And I don't know, like today I would be like, what you are not doing, you know, I'd be like that. But that time I remember I got so bothered by it, and it really, like I remember contemplating whether I should break up because is this what I want anyone to go through, and is this what I want to go through?
I totally know what you mean, because one of the girls I dated for really long, after we broke up, now I'm out there. Like if you go to my Instagram, you know this guy sucks dick. But I know her parents kind of know now, and they were very like, see, you're lucky. He turned out to be like this. When I heard that, I was like, you know what? Fuck you. In my head, obviously. I don't give a shit. But like, I just...
that's just so unfortunate, right? Like when people...
but that's the thing, right?
You can't control it.
You can't change people sometimes. You don't want to make the effort. And it's not something that affected me, but I did feel like...
why?
I wasn't
I didn't
ask
for this.
I wasn't the wrong choice.
Because
of my choices in life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, how stupid is that? That singed a bit.
Yeah, I mean, same. Because I feel like it could... why was there a need to... Like, this is me and a person who've been dating for a good 4 years. Who are you to judge whatever's happening in the between these two people? Like, stop. Like, it's not even like she was close to him. He was just trying to be extra familiar. So, that was one incident where I was just like, bloody idiot. It's yeah.
Yeah. What about sexually? Like,
What's different?
what's different, if there is anything?
I think in terms of a holistic experience.
Yeah.
So I know this is TMI, but
No, please. This is the TMI part of this
part of
episode.
it, yes. So I'm not a penis guy. Like
Okay.
I'm saying that again.
You keep saying
but
that.
but so for me, I love I think a vagina is beautiful,
It's amazing.
and I'm
Apart
all
from
about
the word vagina, I love everything about the
exactly.
vagina.
It's so beautiful
Yeah.
as opposed to like our penis and like balls. It's just
Yeah.
blah. Like
Yeah.
it like they were not
Stangles
made
there.
with like care.
yeah,
They just like
yeah.
sagging like it's
raisins.
like
What are they? I don't know.
testicles. Like really, it sounds like what it is.
Yeah.
So I've never been into that.
Yeah.
So for me, all the business down there was far more pleasurable
Yeah.
than penis play.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
You're like trying to dodge all these words. I can sense
Yeah.
it. But in my head, I'm just going like,
dick.
my favorite thing about women was eating them out.
Oh
I
my
could
god, that's the
endlessly-
best. That's
I
the
could
best.
endlessly eat a
And
girl
like I
out.
love
Oh my
eating
God.
out, like
Oh.
even men.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love eating
Yeah,
men
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But it's it's not the same.
Yeah,
it really
no,
isn't the
as in
same.
I'm not saying one is better than the
No,
other,
but
for sure.
But it's far more intense with a woman. Like that pleasure
God.
of being there for someone.
I totally know what you mean.
Is
Yeah.
like that's in the
Yeah,
truest
yeah,
sense
yeah,
with a woman.
Yeah.
Like with a man, it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
not there yet.
Yeah,
Like
and
it's okay,
that's the
it's
thing.
nice.
In a way, I always want to push the boundaries of the
Yeah.
things we discuss. And like I said, the last 10 years have been very guy intensive, men
Yeah, yeah,
intensive.
yeah.
But I don't know if this is TMI. I'll give you TMI, bitch. But probably one of the most. My brain's whizzing through. Like, should you say this, Farhad? Should you not? I miss period sex.
Oh no! I'm not. I'm too.
I miss
I'm
miss
too
period sex. I used to.
hygiene-y
No.
for that.
I never thought it was.
I don't think it's.
And
I just
also I have to say, I think there's a common misconception that girls are not horny when they are
no.
on their
Once again,
periods.
it's the opposite.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like I remember 2 or 3 girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like they were like in heat when they were chumming, and I honestly. I don't know if I'm pulling this conversation in an entirely different direction with this, but like if we are talking about things that were different, and especially with the sexual segment, I feel like that's one thing I miss. I don't know why. Also, I had one girlfriend who was very. I don't think I would have had anal sex with men had I not had it with a girl first. Is that a very random thing to say? Because I had one
never.
girlfriend who had this very. I'm chumming, so butthole. She had this very, and I
Yeah.
loved it. I loved it. She was like, we can't have sex there, but like,
Yeah.
you can, and I understood anal sex.
Yeah.
Before I actually had anal sex with a guy. You know what I mean? I had been fucked before,
Uh-huh.
but I had never actually fucked someone.
No, my first anal sex experience was with a guy.
Okay.
It's only been with a guy.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I prefer in guys and what I prefer when it comes to women. When it comes to women, I feel I'm envious almost of their sexual experience because I see how intense it can be and how beautiful it can be and how crazy it can be, and for us it's just like ho gaya, like like it's fine. It's in the sense that there are
Sunetro's
ways
meeting the wrong men.
No, so there are ways to get there.
Yeah.
Like when you're like it's far more tantric with women.
Ooh, sting.
Yeah, it's far more tantric. In like they have far more erogenous zones than a man does.
I agree.
On the other hand, with men.
Yeah, it's your porn format.
It's your porn format.
You make
sometimes
out,
it's
blow each other.
Sometimes it's
eat each other.
It's just
out.
less work.
Yeah,
And it's easy rewards,
which is why
which is great, which is
I
amazing.
tend to ask all my straight friends this, like, how much do you go down on a girl? I asked them these questions, and they're still stuck in like the 90s.
Oh my God, why?
So they're like, I don't like eating her out. I'm like, yaar, I used to fucking,
all
it was
time,
like Zomato pe hota to order kar lete. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to order vagina over Zomato, but I'm like, when I see my friends say shit like this, and then I also feel a little displaced when I say shit like this, because I'm like, yaar, you've been gay for so long. Why are you lecturing other boys on how much they should be?
One of my closest colleagues at work, we were discussing this, and we were just like, this is a problem with men. Men think they are they deserve the pleasure.
Yeah.
And that's something that I just cannot get. Like, even till date, even with men, I love servicing. Servicing is such a corny word. But like, I love pleasuring. I love pleasuring my partner. I love to see...
You want to be responsible for their release.
Exactly.
One of the most beautiful things I've seen, I won't give them a shout out, but I have a straight couple. I know a straight couple, and they are their sex life is not like a mystery. They they don't shove it down our throats either, but they are very open in terms of threesomes and everything. And my favorite thing is, they're peggers. You know what peggers are? Like, she pegs him. She fucks him in the ass, and I just they're so happy.
I have respect for a straight guy who does that.
Yeah, man. And
so much
like,
respect.
Sometimes I'm like, I wish.
You know,
would I have gone down this?
I have told this to so many of my friends that I feel bad for straight men, so many straight men, that they live a life without having found their P-spot. Like, they live, and just
why do you call it P-spot?
Because it's prostrate. Like, G-spot is for women and P-spot is for prostrate.
I thought you can say G-spot only. Like, P-spot, I thought of some bladder
same nahi hota hai. Like, you know, so I call it a P-spot because...
Actually, you can call it P-spot.
Because you also feel like it, you know? You feel it.
Yeah. I
and
know
just
what you're talking about.
So, for all the uninitiated, what is a P-spot? Guys have a G-spot, and it's just it's in our, you know, behind. So it's the prostrate, and it's again a beautiful tantric experience. Oh my God. By the way, I got a beautiful okay, this is again TMI, but I got this amazing vibrator which heats up and vibrates.
Where from?
From China.
Zomato.
No. You wish, bitch. You wish. We all wish. But it's so difficult to get sex toys in India. I mean, it's horrible.
And what's the law? Like, you can fly in sex toys?
Yes, I won't.
Or you have to hide it and shit.
So there are websites. I'm not going to,
tell me later, obviously.
I'll tell you later.
I need a new one.
If anyone wants,
because I think my current dildo
wants.
I feel like my current dildo wants to break up with me. I just had him for so long. He's like Tom Hanks in Castaway with that football. This is my football.
Oh yeah. Like,
oh my God.
It's
Mr.
like
Wilson.
Have you watched Big Mouth? It's like the old monster who's just like on his way out.
Yeah. That's exactly.
So like, it was fucking beautiful. So it sort of, you know, vibrates on your perineum as well. So it's and you have a remote, so you can just.
Maybe we should make it a habit of every episode at least spending one line or one sentence telling straight man, "Hey man,
come on,
shove shit up your ass."
Yes, it'll make you a better person.
Do it yourself. Fridge में कुछ रहेगा तो ले लो.
Just make sure that it's washed and it's turgid. Otherwise, a lot of issues happen.
No, don't scare them. Do अभी अपने ज़माने में we thought of Sturgid and all of that इसको antiseptic में डुबाओ. No, सब चलता है अंदर. चलो डांडिया, pen, potato masher. I'm saying these things because these are actually things that have been in my ass. I'm not even kidding.
I've learned the hard way. An operative word being hard.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Is it something you're okay with saying on air?
Some other day, but like I had to go to a doctor.
You can... Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Kakadi. Just broke in and like stayed there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that. No infection.
I thought some infection.
No. I was fucking scared because I couldn't get it out.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck, and I was so embarrassed. Yeah. The doctor was just such a nice person.
Dude, someone told me, I recently read somewhere that... they were interviewing like 100 doctors. It was a survey for 100 doctors. And apparently all of them collectively said that at some point in their life, they have multiple times removed things from men's prostates.
Yes.
Like men have a
Yes.
habit. They secretly just want to know. I've shoved a Hot Wheel when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
Can I tell you something? This is wild, okay? And this is incredibly stupid. But when I was a kid, I had a Hot Wheel that I put, a car, like a Hot Wheel car. I put it up my ass and it wouldn't come out. And can I tell you something? I was so scared to tell my parents that I have a fucking metallic,
thing up
old
your ass.
school fucking car up my fucking asshole. I thought I'll shit it out. And 2 days ho gaya and it did not come out. And can I tell you?
I was freaked out when it happened to me. Yeah,
It
happened.
just, bye. That Hot Wheel I'd not even
It was a Hot
I
Wheel.
just flushed.
It
It's
just-
like, bye Hot Wheel. It was my favorite one though. Oh my God.
Well,
Where did this conversation end with?
I know.
Like, oh my
I
God.
don't, we spoke about some 5 things.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
bottom lining it.
bottom line.
Do you think you can... Yeah, I already know your answer. I was about to ask you, do you think is men 8 or you think that can change in the future? If you
So-
found something...
So here's the thing. I don't know. So this girl and I, we
Yeah.
made a pact
Okay.
that she can't be with women anymore. I can't be with women anymore.
That sounds like out of a Karan Johar movie.
No,
Like-
we just like we said that you date guys and you know, so cis women
Your ex-girlfriend cannot be with women
with a
anymore.
cis woman anymore.
Why?
I didn't put this. We just
So if you
for
found
fun's
out...
sake. I mean,
okay,
we
but if
just
you
put
found
this.
out, you'd be a little pissed off if she...
I don't think we would have any issues. It's just my thing is I don't think I'm that attracted to cisgendered women anymore.
Okay.
I'm very
Neither am I, but...
yeah. Like I'm not close to anything.
There are days that I genuinely find myself missing it. Like I
don't.
hop onto the straight side of Twitter all the time. Straight side means I'm looking
Yeah.
for woman all the time. And now, of course, I felt like fucking in the 90s and 2000s when I was telling girls, yeah, I'm bi. They'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm fine with that. But nowadays, it's more of a problem to say that. Like,
Yeah.
they're just straight up, no.
No,
What
I
if you
don't
fuck
even-
someone else? What if you... And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's your shit to deal with. I don't want to.
I think I have the gay quotient in my life has become so like has exploded.
Dating myself.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to kind of even have like I don't want to go through the effort.
Yeah.
And I don't feel it.
Yeah.
You know. However,
Yeah.
I'm really open to dating, you know, men obviously, which I have been dating,
Yeah.
but like trans men, for
Yeah.
example. And I'm not saying this
Yeah.
out of a fetish.
Yeah.
It is I'm genuinely open because
Yeah.
I am attracted to all shades of men.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it can be cisgendered men,
Sure.
it can be trans
Sure.
men.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that way I'm very open. Like for me,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
only and only
One
about
of
a
my
person.
biggest online crushes right now is a girl from Bangalore. She's a trans woman. And
Yeah.
I am absolutely like just fascinated. The way she writes.
Yeah.
The way she looks. And just seeing her journey
Yeah.
online. She's just stunning. But yeah, there's so much. Sometimes it's just stuck in this binary. I feel like my question was so stupid.
No, but
In-
like this binary thing is such an
Yeah,
idiotic thing
yeah,
that people follow.
yeah.
And if,
honestly, I've been watching Pose recently.
oh my
and
god, did you cry?
Cried matlab?
Oh my god.
Matlab, those 10
I
Jacob wala
died.
tissue went in my
I
tears.
died.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
died.
It was a very sad. But
Yeah.
after watching especially India,
Yeah.
India that's her
more.
name?
Yeah.
India more.
She's so beautiful.
I'm so like
stunning.
yeah, like Instagram.
Oh my
what's she up to?
god.
Papi and India. I want to be very. And
I
now
am
that
team
they are
Papi.
a couple,
I am team
they are-
Papi completely.
I'm team both of them. And now that they are a couple, sorry for spoiler, but like. I just want to be wedged between both of them. Like,
Yeah.
that's my dream. Papi and India. But
But we
yeah.
should do an episode on just talking about queer shows, right? Like
We totally should. That is my PhD, my forte, my
I,
honestly,
like I've grown up on this shit.
my
like,
other
I
show,
totally.
my other show, Keeping It Queer. I came on to the second season only to talk about great movies, TV shows. In
Let's
the
do that
LGBT.
here.
I would love to do that.
Please,
I would love
yeah.
to. It's just such an endless conversation because.
But let's, we'll figure out.
No, my thing is I can't sum it up in one episode. If you tell me one episode, I have to talk about all my favorite gay,
No,
lesbian.
not like that.
every-
We'll add a spin to it.
Just queer
like we
pop
always do.
culture. Okay, let's do that next time.
Yes.
All right. I think we've spoken enough. What we've learned.
Yeah.
What our findings are after dating both the sexes.
If you want us to talk about something that specifically you want us to talk about, why don't you let us know? Just reach out to us on...
because you might think that there are innumerable topics to talk about, but honestly,
really life's boring. Huh?
There are times when before we are coming for an episode, me and Sunetro are like, what should we talk about? What should we talk about?
You have to see our WhatsApp conversations.
Help us, please. We'd love to talk about everything under the sun. Yeah. So please get in touch with us. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Farhad Karkaria. You can find Sunetro on Instagram and Twitter as
Glitterbugged. Bugged.
Yeah. And if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcasts.com. You can also follow us on our social media. Oh shit, every time I read that second sentence. Sure. Okay. So that's a wrap for this episode.
Alrighty. We'll see you soon.
Sorry. I always do this when you're just about to wrap. I have one thing to say, but I realize with our conversation today, especially, I thought if a person who's gay, and he's dating a girl just as a front, as a, the beard thing. I just hope they listen to this episode and know it doesn't have to be so black and white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really hope someone out there resonates in whatever way or whatever we said today in that sense. So, okay, I've spoken enough.
Okay. Alrighty.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Anupam Gupta. I'm B50 on Twitter. I am the host of Paisa Paisa, a show that talks money. On my show, I speak to experts from every field of money and finance, from stock markets, equities, debt funds, credit cards, life insurance, every possible area of money and finance that you can think of. We even did an episode on cryptocurrency. I've got fantastic guests from mutual funds to personal finance experts everywhere. Robo-advisory, startups, just name it, we've got it. At Paisa Paisa, we help you make smart decisions about money. You work hard for money. Now make your money work hard for you. New episodes out every Monday, and you can listen to my show on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you have.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills. From health to relationships. From mental well-being to emotional well-being. And of course, your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.